when are you getting married? Why are you not getting married? When will you find yourself somebody? You're getting too old. The usual. Although I don't have this exact conversation with my mother because thankfully she doesn't ever pester me about marriage.
Honestly, I'm guilty. I have had no preparation for this. I walked into this as a new experience, and I think I came in pretty much at the last minute.
One was struggling financially. Thanks to Apple, I was taken care of for 2 years because it was like insane amount of money as well from voice work.
इतने बड़े सीरीज में तो मैंने जीवन में सपना भी नहीं देखा था कि मैं काम करूंगा। ये क्या हो गया कि 9.4 क्या मजाक है? Hi guys, this is Rithvik.
Hi, this is Sayani and you're watching me on
ETimes.
Hi, this is Avinash Shekhar, and with me today I have Sayani and Rithvik who are going to talk about their Audible, which is about Buri Nazar. And it's, of course, it's quite a dramatic series. And it's not a series, actually, it's an Audible. So we are looking forward to hear from both of them. Hi, Sayani and Rithvik. Welcome on ETimes. So,
Thank you.
Hi, Samina.
Hi. And now, since, we already have had a conversation on this, Sayani, I would like to know about your character in this Audible.
It's actually an adaptation of one of their best-selling in the US called Evil Eye. And, the entire show has this constant banter between a mother and a daughter. And I play the daughter, of course, whose name is Pallavi. And my mum is played by the outstanding Supriya Pathak. And what I loved about the series was it was so relatable, not the exact conversation that they're having, because the mother is constantly telling the daughter, when are you getting married? Why are you not getting married? When will you find yourself somebody? You're getting too old. The usual. Although I don't have this exact conversation with my mother because thankfully she doesn't ever pester me about marriage. But there are other things, that we constantly keep arguing about and talking about, and sometimes one gets irritated with the other one, but there is constant, there's a lot of love, and there are high emotions riding, and there are some soft moments, and it's a very, very well written and very relatable, extremely real conversation and relationship between the mother and the daughter. And of course then Rithvik comes in with his elan and flamboyance and sweeps of us both, actually sweeps Pallavi off her feet, and suddenly she finds herself not reacting how she usually does, and of course you'll have to listen to the show to know what happens, but it's very high strung, high emotions. There's all kinds of, I think there are all navrasas in this, in the different scenes that we've done. There are your softest, most romantic, most vulnerable parts, and there are, there's this chaos, and there is, constant like cacophony, and, everyone's like, doing things at the same time. It's a very, very, although it's an audio show, it's extremely visual, I would say, in terms of, that's happened, like in terms of movements that we were doing. There was choreography. Like it sounds weird when you think of choreography in an audio show, but there was like choreography one had to do, not physically moving, but with your voice modulations, with your with even moving your bodies, and with your cadence, and things like that, and it's great fun. So yeah, it's a very, very exciting show to be part of, honestly.
What about you, Rithvik? Like, tell us something about your role. She's already explained your role, being a flamboyant role and all like that. So how was playing that role for you?
Well, honestly, for me, the first thing, the experience of being on an audio show in itself, it's very very new, very unique in itself. It was very exciting to be a part of a story where you've got nothing but your voice to let the audiences feel what you're feeling. So I think of course, it was challenging, and it was a great experience to be just in that studio, and like she said, to be able to dance with your voice, to be able to do scenes just with your voice modulation. I think it was amazing. It was a great experience. I play of course, like she said, I play the love interest of Shayoni's character in the film. My character's name is Sanjay, and I come into the picture I come into the picture where probably in the story between the mother and the daughter, they don't really expect, or even Shayoni's character doesn't really expect to be able to be falling in love with this boy, and then she does, and that's when the sort of show takes the step two, or maybe the act two, or moves into a completely different direction, and it's beautiful because, like very rightly said, it's got all shades of the navrasas. It's got everything that one actor can sort of emote and play in just these little 5 episodes, and these small, but it's beautifully written, and it touches all the high octane, all the high drama points beautifully at the right parts, and leaves you speechless by the end of the series. So I would call it, it's a beautiful chaos wrapped in a very nice looking gift wrapper of love. It's beautiful. I like the script. I love the script.
That's quite nice to hear. But also, like, in the past, we used to, like, hear such, love stories or such kind of audibles on, radios, and, there have been, like, different voices, and, you actually would feel like, imagining something, and, like, you would feel like, there is something which is happening. So while doing this, what kind of inspirations or what kind of training you would took during this period?
I don't think you need a separate kind of training, because as actors, you use your voice as much as your body, I, for example, I come from a radio household. My father worked in All India Radio all his life. He was an A-grade music director, composer, lyricist, announcer. He was one of the first 6 people who got FM to India. So I've had a very, very deep blood connect with radio, honestly. Audio has always been, he was also, I've seen him growing up, actually. I've seen him doing announcements and, in classical programs and things like that. He was a musician, but also he was, a theater actor. So, voice work has always been, so growing up, my first ever job, you can't really call it a job, but my first ever paid gig was when I was 5 years old. I did a radio ad where I got $500. And so as you can see, like, it's always been around me. I've always done extremely these very, very heavy, like, classical programs, Dole and Music Conference, later Spick McKay. I've always done different kinds of voice work for them, announcements and things like that. So and I have also done a lot of recitation and elocution in my life, and I used to perform professionally, doing elocution and recitation, which is all voice work, and in fact, a lot of people used to come, like, we used to have these, musical sessions and, cultural programs, every weekend at my uncle's, and a lot of people, artists and all, used to apparently come to me, come to listen to my recitations, so it's always been, I've always done a lot of work when it, with the voice. And I feel as an actor, it's something that is one of your biggest tools, that you use when it comes to modulation in any emoting of any expression, really. So as an actor, you're constantly using it, of course. So this was nothing different. And I actually love doing voice work. I was actually the voice for Apple, for India and all of Southeast Asia for 2 years. I did all their success ads. So I couldn't talk about it.
Siri also?
Not Siri. So Siri is their inbuilt software, right? But I did all their ads, like, literally for 2 years. All the success has my voice. And it's unfortunate because I was contract bound and I could never talk about it because they're very, very extremely stringent with their, privacy policies. But it was fantastic. It was one of the best work that I have done. And really, when it comes to acting, we do so much, in terms of, like, but the kind of acting one had to do for those ads, and I did, like, close to 20 ads for them. And
Wow.
each one was so beautifully written, beautifully performed, of course, but beautifully directed. Raj used to direct all those ads. So yeah, so I have always I love doing voiceovers. I do a lot of voiceovers. So yeah, and very funnily, when one was, one was struggling financially, thanks to Apple, I was taken care of for 2 years because it was like insane amount of money as well from voice work. So, it's very like people don't understand the scope that voice work has and the kind of incredible talent there is, in this industry, like the voice industry. So it's fabulous, really. And yeah, when Audible called me, I was like, bring it on, because I was like, this is really my comfort zone, and I love doing every bit of it. And to be able to collaborate with Rithvik and Supriya ma'am on this was absolutely fantastic, and Manish, our director.
Rithvik, talking about you, you have been into anchoring, you have been a part of the TV industry, and this is something like quite a different, subject altogether. So prepping might be not that easier for you because your work schedule is also quite different. You are constantly anchoring, you're right now working, and then at the same time you're doing this Audible. So how are you managing all this chaos? And as you said, it's a chaos anyway, the story itself.
No, the story is chaos, but I don't really think the work is chaos. I love being able to do so many things at the same time, and I think it's a blessing and not a chaos. I don't call it chaos, but and it's not difficult to me. Honestly, it's not difficult to manage when you really love what you do on a daily basis. You just look forward to getting up every day with the fire in your belly to try and do something different and make a difference. As far as the prepping is concerned, honestly, I'm guilty. I have had no preparation for this. I was just I walked into this as a new experience, and I think I came in pretty much at the last minute, and then when I walked in, and then I genuinely had no idea how we were going to do this, and I was said that there's going to be a director who's going to help you through it. So of course I had spoken to Manish a couple of times before the recording started, and then we were comfortable, and he's like, it's just like you're in front of the camera but no camera. And I was like, well, that sounds easy. That's like, okay. I mean, you've been doing that in front of the camera. You just minus the camera and do the same thing. I was like, okay. And then my first few questions were like, okay, will I get space? Like, will I be able to move around? Like, will I be able to touch things? And then, such basic baby questions. Whether will I be able to, use an activity in my hand while I'm doing so all those things. So for me, it's a very new. I've never done it, but I have to tell you, the experience of being in that studio to be able to narrate or enact the story with your voice has been so amazing that it's like कि वो शेर के मुंह खून लग गया. So I want to do so much more of it now. It's really, really exciting. It's a very exciting space to be in.
That's quite nice to hear. Of course, it's quite an exciting journey for both of you. But also, what do you guys have to say, working during this, phase of lockdown, it might be not that easier, or, it's also can say that, maybe you get to experiment a lot during this lockdown. What do you have to say about that, both of you?
I think honestly, for me, the lockdown's been a blessing. It's been a blessing is because it's given so much of time for so many of us to sort of retrospect what we have been constantly chasing and what we've been after, only to realize that what we've been after is a facade. So you just gotta hold your ground and just take a deep breath. Just be easy, because while the entire pandemic was going on, the entire world was on one stage. Everyone, chota bada har koi, everyone was at the same stage, at same pace. That gave me time to reflect so much of things that did not matter, and I constantly paid so much attention to those. And amidst all of this, when I was working, I think I consider myself to be really blessed and really lucky, because I did have one show in between the lockdown. I did have Audible. My series shoot was sort of taking place in its own little sweet intervals. So I think I'm extremely one of the few blessed ones who had a job, and we were constantly working. So yeah, extremely thankful for that time. Extremely, so much gratitude in my heart for all that.
What about you, Sayani?
Absolute gratitude. I completely agree with Rithvik. when you look around, first of all, the pandemic also has had different shades, right? I mean, last year was very different, and this year, again, the second wave happened. It was just excruciating. That especially that 1 month was just horrid, horrifying. So, when you look around, you just have, I mean, you can't help but feel extremely grateful for everything you have. To have first of all, to have a roof above your head, to have enough savings, to be able to eat, to just be grateful that you are okay, you're healthy, and the people around you are healthy. And um, just the most basic things, you are grateful for. And you realize that those are the things that's most important. There's nothing more important than than health and happiness, and just being safe. So of course, when you see that, it has been, I think, the biggest reality pill for all of us, collectively. And I don't think we've ever faced anything like this ever before. you know um, Having said that, I've professionally also, actually, again, touch wood, Ritik, and my favorite thing to do, uh, that I've had actually a great, I've had, I think, what, 6 releases. I think this is my 7th release. And yeah, and lots of work, tons of campaigns. And I did, like, I shot a British show from home. I did a Netflix show from home. This was last year. And, again, as Ritvik said, that I've always been extremely choosy with work and what I want to do and what I want to associate with, and still be able to constantly choose from the work that comes to me. But still, thankfully, been extremely busy. But now, I've always thrived in chaos. I loved multitasking, and I love running around and do 3 shifts back to back, like not sleep for 72 hours and constantly work and travel back and forth between countries. And I've done that for years, and extremely, and having that gratitude, because we know for a fact that, for actors, work, and most people, when you're freelancing, work comes only in phases, right? Sometimes you'll sit at home and probably there'll be no work, and then everything comes, together. But now, I think, post pandemic, I've just calmed down a lot, and I've realized that, taking time off. So, I'm here. There's a lake and there are hills in front of me and the cloud coming in. And I took this week off in spite of having work, because I wanted to come away with my mother, before everything starts. And, the next 4 months are going to be crazy again. And I don't know when is the next time out I will get. But so I think priorities have changed. And that time that I love spending time with myself alone, and I love reading. Those kind of things. And I'm not in a hurry anymore to do anything, and I think there's a general calmness that's come, and it's probably age as well. but it's been wonderful, and really, really grateful, and grateful to be doing this, really.
And talking about your upcoming projects, are we going to see like FOMO shots again?
Of course, you are going to see FOMO shots again. I want to start shooting from the 3rd. I hope everything and the third wave doesn't come, and we can continue shoot. Yeah, I think my second. I mean, of course, Buri Nazar is releasing. Then I have Inside Edge 3 releasing very soon. So yeah.
Talking about you, Rithvik, you are anyway, like, you're already rocking the charts with Shilpa Shetty and Farah. You have been dancing over there on the sets of, Dance Divane. So how is it working for you, and what are your upcoming projects you're working on?
Dancing on stage and dancing with the kids. My Super Dancer is currently on. It's almost coming to a final leg. We're going to be shooting for the grand finale very soon. Cartel has just released on these different platforms, on MX and on Alt, with Supriya Pathak. Actually, I feel I'm really lucky.
This is your second series with her, in fact.
I'm one of the lucky ones who have had the chance of working with Supriya Pathak twice in 1 year, and I think this is extremely amazing. She played my mother there, and she plays her mother here. So I think it's been great. Cartel's doing great. We're getting great reviews, and of course, Buri Nazar releases now, and after this, I'm going to be starting shooting for another one, maybe by next month. So yeah, crossing my fingers for great things to come, and I really hope that people like this little stint of us trying to do this. At least me. This is new for me, and Sayani seems to be a pro at it since childhood. I'm a newbie here. I hope people really like what I do, and it's appreciated, and Buri Nazar does really really well.
They'll love
Talking
you.
about Cartel, of course, yeah, I'm sure. Talking about Cartel, of course, that has been quite a different series altogether, and people are literally talking a lot about it. The kind, the way it is shot, the way Supriya Pathak's role is, the way your role is. How was it working on the series for you?
Oh my God, I can't tell you. This has never happened to me. Just 2 days ago is when the marketing team and everybody went berserk on the groups, and they sent us a page which says IMDb rating is 9.4, and I'm like, oh, and it made me feel like कि इतने बड़े सीरीज में तो मैंने जीवन में सपना भी नहीं देखा था कि मैं काम करूंगा कि this is going to be, ये क्या हो गया कि 9.4 क्या मजाक है. And it's just time to celebrate, because I think the entire cast, Supriya ji, me, Jeetu bhai, Tanuj, all of us put together have really put our heart and soul into this. This show has taken about 3 years to be finally out now. So, and receiving all the love that we're getting from all nook and corners of everywhere. I think it fills my heart with so much gratitude. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
It fills my heart also, because so many people I know are in the series, and I'm like, finally it's coming out. In fact, they had asked me to do a part also, and I was like, unfortunately I couldn't do it at that time. And I was like, I'm really looking forward to it, and I will watch it, because right now I hardly have network, but I'm really dying to watch the series, because I'm sure it'll be fabulous.
Shiny, please watch it. I really want you to tell me what you think about it. Tanuj is there. I am there.
I know.
You're two of your
Gaurav Sharma is there.
Gaurav Sharma is there. You have a lot of people that you know. Supriya ji is there. So please watch the series and tell us. I would really love to know what you think about it.
For sure. For sure.
Thank you so much for your time, and all the best for your upcoming projects. And of course, Cartel is something even I have started watching, and it's really very good. It's quite, it's quite entertaining, to be very honest. It really gets you hooked on to, watch the series. Like what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? So I'm of course looking forward to a lot of, such work, and for more shots, of course. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. But please listen to Buri Nazar. Do not just watch stuff. Please listen to Buri Nazar. All of you listening, it's absolutely fabulous. You can actually listen to it while driving in your car, on your not your with your headphones, of course, but on your Bluetooth of the car. You can listen to it while going to sleep, while exercising at any point in time, while having a breakfast, while having a meal, in your breaks in your office, whenever. But you can please listen to it. It's fabulous.
And it's a beautiful experience. I have heard it myself. Of course, not Buri Nazar, but other shows. It's a great experience, guys. Whoever is watching this right now, to be able to hear a story is a different high altogether. Please experience this. Listen to Buri Nazar on Audible, and we can't wait for your feedback.